Ultima relazione quindi dei descrittori sensoriali caratteristici del vino Malvasia di Bosa. Presenta la dottoressa Ivana Alpeza per un gruppo di lavoro di Zagabria. Prego, dov'è? Arriva.
Thank you.
In English?
Yes, my presentation will be in English. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, first of all, I would like to thank the organizer to accept my title. Thanks for excellent organization of conference. And one small detail, I would like to send special thanks for last evening, especially because one detail, you made me double married woman. Thank you. With a ring, you know, with a special present. Okay. The target of my presentation will also can be described as a marriage, but marriage between wine and human senses. In this case, I will talk about specific sensory descriptors of Malvasia di Bosa wines. I'm sure that it's not necessary to talk about Malvasia di Bosa, especially thanks to Professor Maletic, who is a person and grateful for lots of nice things that happens in the last 10 or 15 years with our variety Malvasia di Bosa. It's really great variety with high potential for all kinds of technologies and all kinds of wines, from still wines, sparkling wines to desert wines. I think that we can say that this story is fantastic, and Malvasia di Bosa can be described as a story about the reborn star from Dubrovnik and from Croatia. There are some data and information about the grape production and wine production and quantities of wine on Croatian market. From 2006, when we had the first official wine on Croatian market, nowadays we are talking about 26 different wines in the last year, with 744 hectoliters of wine on the market. In total, there are 35 hectares of Malvasia di Bosa in Croatia, with 69 grape producers in vitivini registered. Mostly, those vineyards are located very close to Dubrovnik, but also there are vineyards close to Split, in Istria. But what is interesting for enthusiasts in grape production, that there are some producers who plant Malvasia di Bosa at continental part of Croatia. What are kinds of quality of wine on the market? There are two kinds of quality group in general in Croatia. High or top quality wines which need to be produced without any adulteration of any correction of grape moist quality. So the most wines made from Malvasia di Bosa are top quality wines. What is the goal of this research? Malvasia di Bosa wines are protected under the PDO Sardegna and Južna Dalmatia, but not satisfactory. There is no official sensory description of Malvasia di Bosa wines, because different terms are used by different professions. I'm sure that all of us are faced with a similar problem. We are faced with the need to harmonize the approach of wine vocabulary. Association of Malvasia di Bosa producers want to legalize PDO specification for Malvasia di Bosa on its own. So the results of this research should be used as a tool in preparing of specification, as well as Malvasia Dubrovačka Wines Communications. We deal with Malvasia Dubrovačka still wines, vintages 2016 and 2017. The samples were collected from the market. All samples were PDO Sardegna and Južna Dalmatia, high quality wines. That means they are produced with no quality correction of grape moss. The data of physical-chemical parameters according to national and EU regulatives corresponded with certifies for the market. We had two levels of descriptive sensory evaluation. At the first level, professionals from aroma food industry, well-trained sensory analysis, tested the samples. They had no information about the original samples. They only knew that they tested the wine. They didn't have the information about the original grape, about the grape variety or vintages. And they made the first selection of aroma descriptors. On the second level, official wine assessors, well educated and experienced in grape and wine production, certified at academic level, made the second analysis, on which way aroma descriptors prepared in the first step, combined with OIV descriptors, were analyzed in repetition for each sample. Score range for attributes was from 0, that means the attribute couldn't be recognized, to 5, that means very strong or very intensive expressed attribute. All analyses were covered and were used in a laboratory which is accredited with ISO 8589. I will show the results only for one vintages because we have a lot of data and we will continue with those analyses and I hope that we will have a really great results. We made a group of different selected descriptors. So there is a graph for selected color descriptors for Malvasia Dubrovačka wines. All wines were ranked between 3,7 and 4,5 until 4,8 in a range with very high color intensity, yellow gold with greenish raising, very sparkless and very open color. Also with very high aroma intensity, good aroma intensity, with very high taste intensity, with very good age potential and taste persistence. In general, descriptors of aroma were that we can talk about very present aroma, very complex and very matured aroma. I said it's aged bouquet, but it can be described as very matured aroma. And when we talk about specific descriptors, there are lots of very nice and very interesting descriptors. Most of assessors, and what's important to say that we present only the descriptors that were chosen with most than 75 assessors. So the most expressed descriptors were the smell of white flowers, bitter orange blossom, spartium or Spanish broom, bitter orange fruit, lemon fruit, lime fruit, lip blossom honey or meadow blossom honey, dry apricot, dry fig, and sweet almond. When we talk about the quality in general, the most expressed descriptors were that mostly wines with very high taste intensity, very pleasant taste, matured, complex, with very good acidity, with very expressive body extract, viscosity, with very low acerbity and bitterness, and the harmony was very good. What about the next activities? We will continue stronger with the Association of Malvasia Dubrovačka producers, and we plan to include them in sensory testing of wines vintage 2018. We will make comparison, excuse me for the mistake in the word, comparison of their results with the results obtained from professionals. We will continue with chemical analysis of volatiles. That means that we will make GCMS analysis, and the results of both analysis and sensory evaluation will be submitted to appropriate statistical tools, and we expect to find a very strong link between chosen sensory descriptors and volatile compounds. Thank you very much.